Hi there, my name is Shannon, and today I'm going to teach you how to successfully paint a tree with acrylics even if you are a beginner. First, let's get our canvas ready. Let's paint a nice, simple sky. For this mixture, I used mostly white and just a little bit of cobalt blue. For our ground, let's use some green to make it seem like a grassy hill. This green is made out of mostly cadmium yellow with just a little bit of phthalo green. Right at the top here, I like to add some yellow and just a little bit of white to show that the hill is maybe perhaps going back just a little bit in the distance. And we're just going to blend that right into our wet green paint below. Now use a smaller brush, perhaps a pointed brush or a square brush, and start to paint your trunk and some main branches. My color that I'm using, this brown, is a raw umber, and I'm actually using just a little bit of burnt sienna too. Make sure that your branches taper, meaning they get thinner towards the end. Grab a pointed or a round brush for our leaves and let's get started. For our first layer of leaves, we're going to use a muddy green. For this green, I've mixed ultramarine blue and cadmium yellow. This first layer of leaves is also going to shape our tree. Try not to paint your leaves in rows and columns. Try and bundle them and be very rough around the edges as you group your leaves together. We're looking for nice little pockets where we can see our sky. The technique I'm using for applying my paint to the canvas is called stippling. I'm tapping my brush over and over and over again to create all of my leaves. The second layer of green that I'm painting is phthalo green plus yellow. I'm starting to shape the tops of my groupings of leaves to give my tree some shape. I also want to define where the bottom of my groupings of leaves are. So for this color, I'm using the same phthalo green and yellow plus a little bit of red. When I say groupings, think of it this way. We want to show that there's some leaves in front and some leaves behind. So the groupings are kind of like a bunch of bushes piled in front and behind each other. So we define them by using our darks and lights. I also define my trunk a little bit more by re-layering with my raw umber and my little bit of burnt sienna. We want to get another layer on there so our trunk stands out and looks very nice. Let's also start to detail it a little bit more. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this brown and I'm extending some branches through my leaves. I'm doing this by continuing off of the branches I already have. However, when I start to extend them and they start to get thinner, I like to go through the darker shades of green and not through my lighter shades of green I have right now, because those dark ones are the leaves that are behind these branches. Now let's mix a lighter green. So we're gonna go for more cadmium yellow this time and just a little bit of phthalo green. And I like to call this frosting our cake, except it's a tree. We want to show where the grouping of leaves receive the most light. So by taking this light green and stippling towards the top of my groupings, our tree starts to get more and more defined and starts to get more volume. To keep getting more awesome beginner acrylic painting tutorials like these, make sure you ring the bell. Tag Embodied Arts if you try out this tree demonstration. And if you want 15 tricks for jumpstarting your creativity, click the link in the description where we share our secrets.